What's up? What's up? It's Neish, and yeah, happy full moon in Cancer. It is the first full moon of 2025, and it's already starting out with a bang, or fires, quite literally. I live in LA, and yeah, we've been dealing with a natural disaster, and here I am on the internet. um, it's so interesting because I feel like it is definitely in times like these where words of encouragement and growth and I don't know, just being able to give in whatever measure we can give in is helpful and it's needed and it's valuable and important. So this week has been crazy for me. I've definitely have had to deal with the impact of the fires, like almost everyone in LA has. If you don't know, check it out. I'm sure there's some news report or somebody, talking about the LA fires, but yeah, it's crazy town. It is crazy town, but here we are. And it is the full moon in Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. It is a cardinal water sign, which means Cancer, as an energetic archetype, likes to initiate things. Now, the types of things that Cancer likes to initiate are things that are going to be related to home and emotionality and safety and protection and intuition and anything related to water or coast or different things like that. Because one thing we need to remember when we're dealing with signs is that they're not limited to a personality, right? The signs are energetic archetypes that envelop a framework of different things that fall under Cancer, right? And the moon deals with the body, physical body. So does Cancer because the moon rules Cancer as a sign. Nourishment, things that are related to that which is considered feminine. Things that are in the dark, subconscious, unconscious, things that are hidden below our awareness is the realm of the moon. There's so many things that fall under these really massive astrological categories. And so we are going to see what messages come out for the collective under this full moon in Cancer 2025, right? This full moon is co-present with a Mars in Cancer retrograde, right? Mars don't like being in Cancer. It's not that he doesn't like being in Cancer. It's just uncomfortable in Cancer, right? Because remember, these are energetic archetypes, and the planets are what is happening. The sign is how it's happening, how it's going about doing what it wants to do. And Mars wants to act. It wants to sever. It wants to make war. It wants to burn shit up. It wants to cut. It wants to, in some cases, build, but by melting or tearing down or severing in order, creating that type of thing. Cancer is it's water, is very passive. It's not very, you know what I'm saying? So Mars can have a hard time in Cancer. But what it can do is lead to a lot of reflecting over actions, wounds, disconnections. It can be about forging into the subconscious and hidden intentions and motives and subconscious behaviors and actions, right? All of that. We ain't even got the cards out. If y'all still hanging with me, it's probably because you like me or the sound of my voice or something to that nature. So I'm actually going to start off with the Astro deck and kind of get into these energies for this message. All right. Spirit, what message do you have under this full moon in Cancer for the collective? Okay, so we have the first card being community. It says society, organizations, friends, social circle, giving back, hopes and wishes, group activities, memberships, networking, social consciousness. It's associated with Aquarius. And then we have lessons. Okay, and this is feeling real personal right now. And then we have Earth here, which is highlighting the idea of lessons, and that Earth is like a school for our souls. And so it says reorientation, awareness, 3D experience, schooling, duality, human condition, reality, practicality, physical body, nature, stability, and mission. Under that, we have ninth house energy. And it says learning. All right. So right off the bat with community and lessons, I mean, number one, I feel like as someone who is in LA and is dealing with the fires and seeing the LA community rise on this in the midst of such crazy, destruction and things like that. I think community is so central and so important. I think also community is important to health. Oh, hey, Camille, is that how Camille? I feel like I should know how to say this, but yes, I'm safe. Thank God. Are you? I'm hoping that you're safe since you are on here. But yeah, so with community coming out, I think LA is a really great example of how community. I saw this quote on Twitter, and it says, "Community works faster than government." And this idea that communities have come together and have taken care of the people in a way that the government is struggling to do so. And this is the idea that when you are in community, you are able to be held, you're able to be supported, you are able to lean on something that is greater than yourself, right? And so I feel like under this new moon in Cancer, we are really seeing the benefits of community and the benefits of having people around you and in your corner or strangers supporting you and showing up for you, and how community in itself can be such a place of nourishment and a place of connection, a place of healing, a place of giving back. And with this card, lessons and earth, this is this idea of like dealing with the reality and the practical and the harshness of life and the harshness of living on a planet, and how we need each other with community. We need each other to survive. We need each other to thrive. We need each other to take care of ourselves. We can trace most social issues down to, or at least dealing with them, down to your neighbor helping, or someone coming together and pooling resources and making that happen. So I feel like I'm definitely tapping into a collective energy with the Astro deck, with community, the 11th house coming out. And I feel like under this new moon and full moon in Cancer is a call to find community. If you are lacking in community and you don't have people around you, even if it's 4 to 5 people, that's community. That's a group. That is connection. That's a network. You know what I mean? And so I feel like as a collective, there is a call for us to embody community, because the reality is unfortunately, I don't think these natural disasters are going to go anywhere. I don't think these collective societal problems are going to go anywhere anytime soon. So it then becomes imperative for us to find communities and build communities that can take care of the people. Right? Right. I'm glad you're safe. It's wild times we're living in right now, which I think hones in on the point of community even more. This deck is crazy. All right, let's pull from the moon deck. All right, Spirit, what message you got for the collective this full moon in Cancer? I know that this full moon for me has been about dealing with, because again, the moon is like how you take care of yourself, how you get your emotional needs met, right? And full moons specifically are about releasing, letting go, culmination, that type of energy. And so for me, I've been dealing with identifying unhealthy and toxic coping mechanisms and how they have been very maladaptive. They've not been really helpful for me, and needing to let those things go that comforted me emotionally, but weren't actually supportive of my mental health and emotional health. right? Mars retrograde, I'm reflecting on my actions and my motives. Wow, that blew out, and intentions. Okay, so we have a new moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. Hey, Shan. I'm all right. I had to evacuate, but I'm back and everything's fine for now, you know. And then, how are you? And then we have new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. All right, so we have two new moons. So it's a full moon, but we have two new moons coming out. Both of them are in earth signs. Your hard work is paying off and prosperity lies ahead. Let's see what else. I feel like with two new moons coming out, whatever you're releasing right now, whatever you're dealing with right now, whatever you are acknowledging or something that's coming into your awareness, it is so that new things can come. For sure. You can go ahead and ask a question, and then when I'm done, I'll pull for it. Whatever we're becoming aware of, whatever we're releasing, whatever we are dealing with, it's so that new can come, right? With this new moon, prosperity and your hard work is paying off. And I don't think that I think that it's significant that both of these new moons are in earth signs, which represent stability, which represent consistency, which represent grounding. Cancer is a water sign, which is not particularly grounded, right? It's cardinal, so it's moving, right? So there is space in the midst of this awareness to realize that there are new opportunities on the other side. Okay, look at that, y'all. I see your question, Shan. I will, when I'm done with this, I'll ask the cards. So then we have adjustments are required. And then look at this. New moon eclipse. Expect powerful change. What was I just saying? With all these new moons, all this new moon energy, whatever we are letting go of, whatever we're releasing, whatever patterns or ideas or mindsets or people or relationships or whatever we're letting go of, is to make space for all of this new energy. 3 new moons, all of this new energy. And that can be applied toward love too, but adjustments are required, right? So this full moon in Cancer is bringing awareness to the adjustments that we need in order to make space for all of this newness that we want to manifest in our lives. All right. What is my love path going? All right, Shan, let's get into your question before we continue on with the reading. All right. All right, Spirit. Can you provide some insight on Shan's love path? Can you provide some insight on Shan's love path? Okay. I actually got a variation of these 2 cards recently. Okay. I feel like I know what the message is. Hopefully it applies. All right. So the first 2 cards that came up was the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the 5 of Swords in reverse. And then we have the 7 of Cups upright. And then the bottom deck is the Star. So with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and with the 5 of Swords in reverse, it feels like sometimes I feel like I say the same things over and over again, but I promise you it's really just what I feel like Spirit is saying. But it feels like, Shan, Spirit is saying like you need to take care of yourself in a greater capacity. You need to be more selfish. And you need to it's an invitation. So not you need to, because you need to is strong. You know, you don't need to do nothing but live and breathe. You know what I'm saying? And do what you got to do. But I feel like the invitation is to take care of yourself more and to be more selfish and to focus on yourself more, because it feels like the more you do that, options comes. Like, and it doesn't feel like just options in love, but it feels like you want to be homegirl right here with looking at the clouds going, what do I want? What tickles my fancy? Like, what is for me? You know what I'm saying? You want to have options. And it feels like if you feel like you don't have options, or the types of love isn't manifesting, it's because you need to focus on yourself more, because the Queen of Pentacles is earth energy. She's like an earth mother. She like nurtures what she's given. She takes a seed and she makes a garden out of it. And she takes care of what's hers, and she flourishes and she grows what's given to her. You know, like if dry, dusty soil is what's around her, she's going to water that until it's a luscious garden. And the Five of Swords is about being selfish. It's about not giving a flying fuck about anybody else. You see these other two people in the back of the card, the main person took the sword, because like, I don't give a fuck about you. I need what I need. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like with these energies in reverse, it's saying like, okay, like maybe the blockage in your love life, if that's what you're experiencing, is because there is not this focus on nurturing what you already have and prioritizing yourself, right? And with the bottom deck being the Star, that's about healing. That's about looking at your own vulnerabilities, your own points of pain, the places that are hard to deal with and that are difficult, and giving them love and light and water and nurturing that, right? And because I feel like what Spirit is saying is like, what's on your love path is having options and being able to choose what you want. But that place of power, having options and choosing what you want, has to come from a place of being really rooted and grounded on yourself, and really understanding and clarifying like what it is you want and what it is you need and what's important, and like really understanding like yourself. And that puts you in a position of power to choose the people that are for you. Because what you want, because let me tell you, I've been meditating on this, Shan. Oh, thank you. I've been meditating on this, Shan. I've been meditating on like in the wild. Let's just take the traditional like male, female, animal, whatever, right? The males literally evolve to have, like in birds, they evolve to have these big, massive displays to get the attention of the female. And usually the female is very plain. The thing is, the female chooses which male's genetics continue on, right? And so the males evolve to be chosen. You know what I'm saying? Make it apply how it applies. The point is I feel like you want to be in the position where you are the chooser, not waiting to be chosen. And the way that you become the chooser is by focusing on yourself more and being more selfish. And healing the things that you need to heal, and prioritize the healing that needs to take place. That's what I feel like the message is for you, Shan. Hopefully that's helpful. I feel like, I'm not even gonna lie, I feel like I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with like, I'm just gonna be vulnerable for a second. Like my like own like father issues have been coming up a lot for me. And how like not having a dad growing up has impacted like the way I've manifested like pick me energy, which has led to me like wanting relationships with people who are emotionally unavailable. Of course. And what's your question? Do you have a specific question that's led me to like try to pursue men that have been that are emotionally unavailable? And it like relives this childhood dynamic when I would like, you know, it's just the whole thing. And so I feel like I've been dealing with that, and I feel like Spirit has been telling me over and over again, like, I need you to be single. I need you to focus on yourself. I need you to be single. I need you to focus on yourself. And I'm like, I really want this man to choose me though, God, please. Like, I really want him to choose me. And God be like, first of all, you don't actually want him to choose you because you don't even know who he is for real, for real. That's your wound. But can you just trust me and be single and focus on yourself? And I'm like, okay, I guess. That's good. But I've changed to let go of things that's what I'm doing right now. You know, it's layers to it. It's layers to it. All right. Camille, hopefully I'm saying it right. It's either Camille or Camille. Do you have a question specifically, or do you just want me to just say, will you ever find true romance? Okay. Spirit will. I'm just gonna say Camille. I hope that's right. I be feeling so bad. I'm such a names girl. I be feeling so bad. But Spirit, you know who I'm talking about. Will Camille ever find true love? Okay. Oh, thank you. Camille. Okay, there we go. Camille. Okay, period. I really need the hooked on phonics, girl. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so this is gonna sound interesting, but again, hopefully it relates. I feel like yes. I say yes because the Ace of Pentacles is present, but it's reversed. I feel like you are going to find true romance when you don't want it. And I know everybody says that, but let me tell you. So the first card that came out was the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Right? And the fact that it's the Pentacles means that yes, like real, true potential for long term, right? But then it's followed by the Knight of Wands upright. And then the Hanged Man reverse, right? So this is how it's showing up to me. Now, notice how the Knight of Wands is facing away from the Ace of Pentacles reverse. You know what I'm saying? It's really given like the moment you really don't want it, like truly in your heart, you're like, you know what? Yeah, I want it, but I don't have to have it. I don't need it. I'm not going after it. I'm not trying to make it happen. I feel like when you change your perspective, because the Hanged Man is about being suspended, but it's or being put in an uncomfortable situation, but you're uncomfortable so that you can get a different perspective, right? So this is what it looks like normally, right? The hangman. So he's tied upside down on a tree, and you notice that his head is kind of illuminated, right? And it's this idea of like being in an uncomfortable position, being suspended in midair where it looks like nothing's happening and I'm stuck, allows you to see the situation from a different perspective. It allows you to see things differently. And so it feels like, yes, the opportunity is there, but it's like when it's not a priority, when it's not something you're trying to go after and make happen. It's like when you focus on the other things in your life, the other things or finding other things to focus on and changing your perspective is when the opportunity manifests and becomes an upright opportunity. It's like the universe is saying, like, it's like having the thing that's coming to my mind, programs running in the background, right, of a computer, right? You have these programs that are running in a background of a computer. Like meanwhile, you're working on a document, you're working on a novel. Let's say you're writing a book or you're writing a novel or you're working on some type of something we're writing, right? Let's say you're working on that. But in the background is a program running that's like cleaning up the computer, right? I feel like your love life is like running in the background and it's like happening, it's manifesting, but you're focused on something else, making something else happen. And all of a sudden the pop-up comes and it's like, hey, ding, you got a notification, blah, 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 blah. Like that's how I feel like it's going to happen for you. That's how I feel like it's going to happen for you. I feel like you're going to be focused on something else, something that you're passionate about with the Knight of Wands. You know, and that's hard. I'm gonna level with y'all because I'm going through it with y'all. Like I'm channeling messages, but sometimes I have to take my own shit. It really just be spirit. So let me level with y'all. The way going through these fucking wildfires made me want a person. When I was evacuating, I was like, I really wish I had a man's arms to go to right now. I really wish I had somebody to like, like obviously I have friends and stuff, but like, yeah. You need to focus. Don't we all? Really, don't we all? You know what I'm saying? But I was like, I really want somebody to like somebody's arms to go into going through a fucking natural disaster. And I was really upset at spirit. Facts, we do got each other. But I was really talking to spirit. I was like, I really wish I had somebody right now. I really, really wish. But spirit was reminding me like that's coming from a place of feeling like I'm powerless because I didn't experience that from a father. I didn't experience that protection and stability from a father figure. So I like project that on my reality. And when I'm going through difficulty, I kind of like naturally want to advocate my power and hope somebody else can like take care of me. Somebody else can be this safe space for me instead of cultivating that for myself. And like part of me sometimes feels resentful for the fact that I have to like do all this healing work and da 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 da, you know. But the reality is like for me, that's my circumstance. For everyone else, is going to be different. Exactly. Sam, it would have been nice. It would have made things easier. It would have been nice to be with someone. Absolutely. And that's the point, is that we can make it through. We are a safe space. Absolutely. That's the thing. We can make it through. We do have enough resource internally. We do have enough capacity and capability on our own to meet our own needs. And when we are able to consistently meet our own needs, we're able to identify when someone else has a capacity to create space for us. But it's when we're constantly like advocating our needs and sourcing our needs to other people that we give them too much power, and then it becomes a negative relationship. And it's like, I'd rather just be alone than to have somebody sucking on my energy. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like for you, when you focus on the things that are really important, which, you know, it's hard to do, you know, especially when we want love and we want true love. But I feel like at least what spirit is saying to me is the more you focus on yourself, the more you go after the things that you're passionate about, and the more you just kind of, you know, backseat wanting the true romance. Because right now it does feel like it's at a standstill. Like it does feel like nothing's gonna happen right now with the hangman. But it's so that you can gain a different perspective. And once you gain that perspective and you shift your focus, this is going to, boop, universe is going to hand you an opportunity for true romance. Yay. And you know what? In the full moon, when I was talking about the full moon in Cancer, whatever it is that we're releasing, whether that's a perspective, an idea, expectation, whatever it is we're letting go, because again, Cancer is about getting our needs met and our emotional stability and security and like our inner child and our inner life and our heart, right? That's Cancer, that we protect the soft space, right? Cancers, crabs have this hard exoskeleton to protect the inner mushiness, you know. And so because it's a full moon, like I was saying, it's about letting go, releasing, and bringing awareness. And so whatever adjustments needs to be made is so that you can have this new prosperity lies ahead. And prosperity don't just have to be monetary. Your hard work is paying off. I feel like I'm going to my higher self, to be honest, period. And that's what we have to do. You know, in times like these, when life is as crazy and as unpredictable as it is, it's so easy to get focused on the negative and the difficult and what's hard and all these other things. But when we tap into that higher perspective, when we tap into that higher self, it brings us hope, right? It brings us like, it takes us out of low level energy into manifestation energy. Because let me tell you, nothing that exists in our reality happened apart from a human imagining it first. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing that exists, like this fucking Apple computer that's in front of me, y'all can't see it, but what's in front of me, a person imagined this and then they made it real. But if we're too stuck in survival, if we are too stuck in a lack mindset, if we don't believe that we are capable and that we are deserving, then we'll never imagine a future that's different from our reality. And that's why true manifestation is emotional. And you have to like really do the emotional work to believe that you're worthy and deserving and imagining a better reality. Otherwise, your brain is only going to believe and feel like it's capable of focusing on what you already have instead of being able to spot another opportunity that can change your life. I feel like that's a whole other thing. I feel like I need to do a whole video on manifesting, because I've been seeing that work in my life recently. For real, for real. Let's see. I'm going to pull from the Moonology deck, a different Moonology deck, for this full moon in Cancer. All right, Spirit, what message you got under this full moon? All right, we're going to take the first card that popped out. So the first card that popped out, y'all, I love it. Self-regulation. Which is so fucking crazy, because self-regulation is like, well, number one, the moon is exalted in Taurus, and it says exalted moon on it, and that's a bull. And then we have the new moon in Taurus out, which is prosperity lies ahead. So period. But self-regulation is dealing with, it's so in line with the full moon in Cancer, how you cope with discomfort, or how you cope with disappointment, or how you cope with disillusionment, or how you cope with loss, right? The ability to regulate oneself and to regulate one's emotions. The full moon here, look at that. I just noticed the full moon right here. Love to see it. Self-regulation is how we not only manifest, but how we stay true to oneself. Because the reality is like suffering, difficulty, disillusionment, loss, like these are things that are a part of life. These are things that are part of being human. And we develop addictions when we don't learn how to regulate in a healthy way. So we develop love addictions, sex addictions, food addictions, porn addictions, any addictions. We develop these addictions because we don't know how to self-regulate. We don't know how to find healthy dopamine in a healthy way, right? And so we find it in these other ways that turn out to be addictions, you know? And so I feel like the encouragement under this full moon in Cancer, which definitely deals with that type of thing, is how can we, myself included, learn how to regulate our emotions and our bodies when we're dealing with things that are uncomfortable? Because look at that, abundance. Because what happens when the blessings do come, right? What happens when we get the person of our dreams? What happens when we get the money that we're manifesting? What happens when we get the job, the network, the career, the community? Like, what happens when we get the things that we want, right? The abundance, right? But if we've not developed the emotional toolkit, we can self-sabotage it. When we've not developed the inner work of learning how to deal with the success and the failure, right? When we learn how to regulate is when we create space for long-standing abundance. Because I do believe abundance is meant to be. It's meant to be. The blessings are meant to be. The prosperity is meant to be. Your hard work paying off is meant to be. The new things coming into your life are meant to be. Right? But we have to adjust, maybe through self-regulation, to making space for all of the abundance, the new things. So that's kind of, honestly, I feel like that's it for real. Like, I feel like that's the message under this full moon in Cancer, is to take care of yourself and to maybe be kind and compassionate as you do some self-reflecting and as you acknowledge, like, how am I meeting my needs? How am I not meeting my needs? How can I learn to meet my needs in a healthy way? And am I meeting my needs in ways that are actually not beneficial for me and that are causing me problems that I don't want to deal with? You know what I'm saying? And then like learning how to, in a healthy way, release those to make space for new behaviors, new thought processes, new perspectives, new ways of being. Because again, in order to manifest the abundance, we got to release a lack mindset. And that takes work, right? But awareness is the start. It's not the finish line, but it's the start. So that's all that I have for you guys. Hopefully this provides value and this is helpful and supportive of your journey. Definitely, because I'm gonna save this, and so when people watch it back, subscribe, like, engage. Other than that, thank you guys for chatting. Thank you for showing up, and peace out.